arbitrary persons, intimidation and harassment, torture, killings, enforced disappearances, deplorable prison conditions, and violations of international humanitarian laws. These are some of the human rights abuses and violations in Cameroon. The Network for the Defense of Human Rights in Central African Sub-Region, REVAC, describes the situation of human rights in Cameroon as deplorable.
At the moment, it's very bad. If I had to put a note to notate my country, here we'll have less than 0. Because today it's just like something happened in Yaoundé. People, deciders, they don't know what to do. They don't respect anything. And they do it with a sort of arrogance, which is so disappointing, terrifying, and never bring us the proudness we deserve. Because when you see in this Anglophone crisis that our head of state can cut media, can cut internet in a part of the country, he is reproaching to want a secession, and posing this act of secession, you become mad, you see. And when you see that they can arrest a lawyer like Bala, everybody knows him. Everybody knows as a gentleman who is very moderated. Arrested while he was negotiating yesterday with the highest member of the government. Arrested, put in jail, and called terrorist, where at the end of the trial, he can be condemned to death. And then you have a lot of questions to ask.
Kangni Afanou is a coordinator of the Center for Civil and Political Rights in Africa. He is in Cameroon to empower Cameroonian civil society actors on the elaboration of an alternative report on the implementation of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights.
Put the emphasis on the fact that the kind of reports we are writing is based on the International Protocol on Civil and Political Human Rights. And that protocol, the government of Cameroon has freely signed that protocol. And most of the time, when you sign that kind of protocol, you don't have the choice. After the Human Rights Committee made some recommendations, you are something like obliged to put them in place. And another thing I want to put the emphasis on is that there are two kinds of recommendations that will be made by the committee. The first one will be those general recommendations where the government will have 4 years to implement. But there are some priority recommendations which must surely be implemented after 12 months. And we as civil society and the Human Rights Committee of the UN will be coming into Cameroon after October to see exactly which part of those recommendations are implemented.
It is expected at least 80% of the civil society actors attending the workshop will be familiar with the examination procedure of the reports presented by the state parties to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. They will equally adopt an advocacy strategy of civil society to take the recommendations into account before and during the committee's examination.